Hostilities are afoot. I have a fix on their weaknesses. Check your scope.
Security analyzed.
Push target analyst.
It must have been lonely hiding out by yourself all that time as Initiate Alva in Golden Ridge.
I wasn't hiding, just doing what needed to be done. And I was hardly lonesome. My Aetherwave serials provided a sufficient proxy for human interaction.
Well, now you're free to assassinate away.
And you got us to help. That's nice, dear. Not giving up watching my serials, though. I'll say this for my colleagues in the Order. We certainly thought big with the archive.
It is fitting that we move underground to burn out every single root the Protectorate has left on Cloister.
Is the pain of this wound making me hallucinate? Or are you the unforeseen interloper my scouts have been speaking of? Nobody is sure where you came from, though everyone agrees you were not down here when the doors sealed, and watching you move through these caves is quite the sight to behold. You're an ally. Wonderful. Law knows we can use more, especially down here. So why are you here? And more importantly, where did you come from? You what? On your own? We've been fighting for weeks to try and gain access to the controls, and you simply waltz in on a whim? Why aren't you just an absolute marvel? What is your goal now? We could greatly use your help if you are willing. That, I fear, is a seriously dangerous proposition. My soldiers were fighting our way into the complex when those bastards activated the fire suppression system. It froze every person fighting inside the complex, Order and the Protectorate both, to solid ice. They sacrificed every soldier they had to keep from losing that building. Wouldn't that have... No. It never even... I was so focused on saving those remaining that it never occurred to me to push forward. I suppose it speaks to how rarely I'd crunch these sorts of equations under stress. As my compatriots died beside me. And now my inexperience has trapped us here. That is absolutely amazing news. Then we are going to re-establish contact with the surface. We can evacuate our wounded, resupply, and reinforce. May the plan guide you through this underground nightmare. And may all your equations unveil their integers without error.
Investigating hostile intentions.
Plasma tolerances.
Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Proceeding to attack.
Anyone standing between us and our goal seems to have a very short life expectancy.
Retrieve key data in cold storage in its present state requires a series of manual overrides. The first will enable identification of the storage brick housing the information. If you encounter opposition, remember, our needs come first.
This didn't happen naturally. These poor fools were flash frozen somehow.
Please do leave me in peace. There is nothing you could say that is interesting enough to interrupt my work.
brick identified. Proceed to the cartridge extractor controls. There, perform a manual override to allow extraction.
What? What just happened? I didn't do... Wait! You out there! What did you just... Please, come talk to me. I must know what you did. What in the name of the matriarch did you do? We've been trying to restore these systems for weeks to no avail, and yet you stroll in here, wave that thing around, and the whole system lights up like a white dwarf? What did you do? You mean to say we've been running ourselves ragged here, while the whole time there's a device that controls the entirety of the Archive's computronic systems? And it was in the Protectorate's possession? That's damnably... I mean, the paradigm is infallible. I am certain we were meant to flail about without this obvious asset. For a reason. What does it do? How does it work? Please, tell me everything. Truly? Why, if that were to enact any additional functionality in our lab, it might just be the thing we need to complete our work. Oh, during the Order's assault, a Protectorate soldier ran to the control room and triggered the chemical fire suppression system, and it literally froze all the combatants in place. I've been working on a procedure to reverse the effects. Sadly, it has proved a hard shell to crack, and so far I've been unsuccessful. For a moment, I believed your efforts to be my first sign of progress. I thought the machines whirring to life meant my efforts were successful. Unfortunately, I was mistaken. Perhaps. How much do you know about cellular biology and the inverse hydrophilic transitionary replacement theory? Wonderful. This may be the most promising possibility of a breakthrough we've had since I started this experimentation. I'll monitor the subjects for changes while you try your hand in the lab. Just, please, be careful not to trigger the fire suppression system, or I'll end up like those poor sods. I wonder if there's some way for the machines you've accessed to help me in my research. Please excuse me while I explore the various possibilities.
Sovereign, forgive me. All I saw was an endless sea of snarling Order traders pouring into the facility, and in that moment, my faculties desperately scrabbled to save ourselves. In my terror, I recalled the facility's safety briefing and the dire warnings of the fire suppression system. Suddenly, my body rushed into action without the benefit of my wits, and with no thought for my fellows, I triggered the system, horrifically transmuting every person on the outside of a pressure door into a grotesque sculpture of solid hoarfrost. And though the paradigm freely sacrifices subjects in defense of the Protectorate, it would be a despicable lie to say my choice was driven by anything but abject cowardice, which now makes my duty clear. I must seek out a sentinel, confess my transgressions, and accept retribution, and I'll do so soon. I just need my spine to re-stiffen a bit first.
how exactly are we supposed to get that thing moving again?
Resorting to violence. I have a fix on their weaknesses.
Extraction initiated. Proceed to the rail operations platform to reposition brick for export. Note, Protectorate troops have become alerted.
I'll handle this.
Repugnants and sponges. Go through them.
Back and stay. Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
Casualties, steady on!
Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Mobilizing.
Hey now.
Say the word and I'll spread enlightenment.
Back to scan.
If there's anything worse than my former fellow Protectorate subjects, it's corporate toadies.
Lovely day for a coup, dear. The only surprise about the Protectorate's consul usurping the Sovereign's authority is it did not happen sooner. As you wish. Try not to perish horribly without me.
What? Sorry. Caught me lost in my upper story.
All right, but don't do too much killing without me.